So we are very happy to restart our Bhagavad Gita series, including this means includes Gita Bhushan as well as Srila Prabhupada's commentary. This can be reduced a little bit, definitely good. One point, you can reduce the fan. So I'll just revise in the sense the first shloka we have discussed. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavahanam Avyam Vivaswan Manave Praha Manur Ikshvakve Bravit. Shri, the Supreme Lord Krishna spoke. Just make it properly. Imam Vivasvate Yogam. This Yogam, Imam Yogam, that means this science of yoga with the Supreme, I have instructed to Vivaswan, the sun god. Proktavahan, Proktavan Aham. I had spoken. I am 100% sure you are a brahmachari. Don't know how to fold the uttari nicely. And Avyam means it is ever fresh. It is like ever fresh like the Vedas, or it is indestructible knowledge. The knowledge which was given to sun god is still relevant now. It's such a big project. Okay, I should have done myself then. 3 people are engaged in that. And what did he do? Vivaswan Manave Praha. Vivaswan means the sun god gave it. Praha means spoke, nicely spoke to Manu. And then Manu spoke to the Ikshvaku. Okay. So now from this what we have learned is that the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita has to be understood in Parampara, and it has to be disseminated in Parampara. Dissemination of knowledge means passed on, should be given in Parampara, only then it will be understood properly. And we also learned that when sun god has to learn Bhagavad Gita from a proper teacher, that means Krishna, and the successive people have to learn from those who are in the line of Lord Krishna. Then what to talk of people in general? If you remember, these points were discussed. So Manu had spoken to Ikshvaku, and in this way the knowledge was passed down. So now in present shloka 4.2, the Lord will explain why he is speaking again. If the question is raised that since the knowledge was anyhow disseminated in Parampara, so why are you speaking again? So the Lord has said that yes, it was received by the sage-like kings in Parampara, but by the effect of time, which destroys everything, this knowledge also was lost. Pravartak abhavena. Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan explains that there was no proper person who was disseminating this knowledge, so that's why this knowledge was lost. So this may happen. Just like I always raise this question, there are many devotees in our Zoom, in meetings or others, who may be Pandays, who may be Dubes or Dvivedis. But if they track or if they see in their family, hardly any Veda is understood. Nobody reads Vedas, nobody reads other Vedic literatures properly, even reads what to speak of properly. So then what has happened? Kalina, because it's the effect of time, people have neglected that knowledge. So then again it has to be spoken. So then the same theme, Lord Krishna is speaking here. Please chant after me. Bhagavad Gita chapter number 4, text number 2. Evam parampara praptam
Evam parampara praptam
imam rajarshayo viduhu.
Imam rajarshrayo viduhu.
You can be heard on live, but it's not on the speaker. It's a strange mechanism here. I don't know what is happening here. Sakalene hamahata
Kalene hamahata
yogo nashtaha parantapa.
Go nashta parantapa.
So the meaning is very obvious. Evam parampara praptam. Evam means in this way. In this way is linked to the previous shloka. Just like Lord Krishna spoke to Vivaswan, Vivaswan spoke to Manu, and Manu spoke to Ikshvaku. In this way. Are you able to understand? Evam parampara praptam. Parampara means from in the Guru parampara, or you can say teacher disciplic succession, it was understood. Okay, first line is clear. Imam, this yogam, which was spoken by Krishna to sun god, this yoga was Vidhu was understood by Rajarshis. And you know why it was given to the Rajarshis? Because in that way they will help or guide the citizen to be established in yoga in their by doing their duties. This is understood. If the leader understands how to offer his actions to Krishna, then he can also teach his subjects how to offer their actions to Krishna, and in that way become liberated. Then what had happened? Kalina iha, Kalina plus iha, Mahata. Mahata means long, and Kalina means due to the passing of long, due to time. So Kalina Mahata, due to long passage of time, Yogo Nashtaha. This science of yoga has become Nashtaha. Now you say, in the previous shloka it was mentioned Avyaya. So something is Avyaya, indestructible. How it can become Nashta? So the idea is the knowledge is imperishable, but the knowledge was not known to the people. Does it make sense? If it is revived, it is relevant. Knowledge itself is not destroyed, but the people who are knowing the knowledge, especially the kings, they had forgotten it. Are you able to understand this point? Parantapa is referring to Arjuna, who is a chastiser of enemies. Okay. Are there anyone on Zoom? Oh, nobody on Zoom. Oh, no. Some devotees are there. I had a reflection on this. I had a talk with a devotee for almost like 1 hour yesterday. I say, even if 2 or 3 devotees come, it is more than one, at least. So, and I was now talking about Bhagavad Gita, strictly speaking, counseling or something like that. So there is no harm in continuing with the discussion, is it not? At least we get purified, and some devotees might be benefited also. Okay, but everybody's video is off. It seems everybody's listening in, how to say, standby mode or whatever. They are doing something. They have to do something, and they have to hear also. Not they can hear also, and they have to do something, so to speak. That also is good. No problem. You can keep the video off. At least I can keep my video on and speak on Bhagavad Gita. Fine, not a problem. I can understand. We have responsibilities to take care. So this shloka is understood. Okay. So class finished. Sometimes he will make a joke. What is that? Bhuvaneshwar Prabhu. So he'll read the purport and then says, any questions? As if the class is finished. Translation. The supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it appears to be lost. One thing is there, you have to understand the main key point of disciplic succession is that people do not do research. They don't change anything. They may elaborate on the topic which has been given by the previously liberated Acharya, but they won't change the subject matter. This is very important because the knowledge which is given is beyond our senses. So it may match with your sensory perception or does not match with your sensory perception, but we have no authority to change it. And this has a very key point to understand, because the question which of Arjuna, which will follow after this shlokas of Lord Krishna, he has to accept the version of the Lord as it is, without his sensory, without having faith on his sensory perception. You will understand why I am saying all those things when we discuss tomorrow Arjuna's question and Lord Krishna's answer thereafter. Gita Bhushan commentary. Thus means evam. In this way, the great saintly kings knew this yoga, which was received through the line of disciplic succession, starting from Vaswan, and which was taught by their forefathers such as Ikshvaku. The sampradaya of this yoga in this world, Iha. Did you notice the word Iha in the Sanskrit? Sakalena Iha. Iha in this world, due to time in this world, was broken by the influence of powerful time. Now you must remember, the knowledge of yoga cannot be broken by time. The disciplic succession was broken. So some people might be having this knowledge. you must also remember that disciplic succession of the Rajarshis, that means the saintly kings, can be broken. But the disciplic succession of Brahmarshis cannot be broken. And I was reflecting upon it that we are hearing about Naraji and his past life. That means in previous day of Brahma, he met the Bhakti Vedantas. So they were also part of disciplic succession. So can you imagine? This knowledge of disciplic succession is not destroyed even in destruction. Again it is revived through Brahmaji. Again it is revived through Brahmaji. Again dissolution happened. Again the Lord revives. So can you understand, can you appreciate how much Lord is eager for us to understand this transcendental knowledge of yoga, that means connecting our senses with Krishna? Are you able to appreciate this point, that Lord himself comes to establish this knowledge again? This shows his eagerness for this knowledge to be disseminated. कुछ ग्रहण कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है? Please don't mind. I always pick on both of you. But knowledge does not, Krishna does not say when the knowledge of oracle or the knowledge of Python is reduced by the effect of time that I come to establish it. Does he ever say? Neither of mechanical engineering or anything, or any other people, or mathematics, calculus, nothing. That he develops by that all gets developed by the modes of material nature. But this transcendental knowledge, personally Lord Krishna comes again so that it is established as it is, without any change. You must remember this knowledge of yoga, that means connecting with the Supreme. If it is little bit changed, it doesn't give any result. Are you able to understand? Just like you chant Hare Krishna. And if I think I'll become Krishna, finished. So you see, a little bit change and then things don't work. That's why it's called razor's edge. Little bit you change the philosophy or Siddhanta, it doesn't work. It doesn't really work at all. And that Prabhupada would also say in the purport. It is clearly stated that the Gita was specially meant for the saintly kings. So obviously Aurangzeb cannot understand. So he won't attend the class also. I mean, a person who is demoniac, whether he may be a king or whatever, he cannot understand, because they were to execute his purpose in ruling over the citizens. Did you understand this point? They were supposed to guide the citizens as to how they should also engage in yoga. Certainly, Bhagavad Gita was never meant for the demoniac persons who would dissipate its value for no one's benefit and would devise all types of interpretations according to personal whims. Did you get this line? Dissipate, you understand? So if something is concentrated and you dissipate it, so its potency is lost. Similarly, so now, if the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is given as it is, people get benefited. Yes, they become devotees of Krishna and they become liberated. But if people dissipate it, by which nobody will be benefited. Very, very simple point, but if you start reflecting upon it, it is quite interesting. If you or we or me or I give this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, will I be benefited? What is the answer? Fine. So I have benefit of presenting Bhagavad Gita as it is. Will the person who is receiving the knowledge will be benefited? Yes. So now, if I change the knowledge, will I be benefited? Will the person who will receive it will get benefited? So then why are you doing it? That is a question can be asked. That's what Prabhupada is saying. With for no one's benefit. अपना भी फायदा नहीं होता और सामने वाले का भी फायदा नहीं. तो rather a person becomes chastised by Krishna. Why is changing? Does it make sense? And that's why they devise all types of interpretation according to their personal whims. They will not accept the standard versions of the Acharya, like Sridhar Swami, like Chakravarti Pad, like Baldev Vedabhushan. They won't accept that. But they have their own interpretation. Just like if I start explaining to you that actually Kurukshetra was not there. And Kurukshetra is your body. And your five senses are the Pandavas, and so and so forth. What do you gain by it? Nothing, is it not? Only thing which I may gain is temporary popularity among stupid people. Dogdha, is it not? Quite interesting, is it not? People don't know about Bhagavad Gita. Just reflect upon it. If you would have landed up in the lap of those teachers, lap means under the guidance of those teachers who were explaining like this, then think how what kind of clarity you or me would have got on Bhagavad Gita. Not only zero but negative. And that's what is happening all over the world. Prabhupada will say this point, that this is demoniac because they don't want to accept Krishna, and Krishna is speaking very clearly, so they will change the meaning of the, or try to change the meaning of the words of Krishna. So all this is useless. As soon as the original person was scattered by the motives of the unscrupulous commentators, there arose the need to re-establish the disciplic succession. So people had changed the meaning of Bhagavad Gita. 5,000 years ago, it was detected by the Lord himself that the disciplic succession was broken, and therefore he declared that the purpose of the Gita appeared to be lost. Sakalina mahata yogo nashtaha parantapa. So, one thing did you notice? That Lord is very much aware what is happening here. Did you notice from this point? Very nice. He is always eager to do good to the conditioned soul. And he's noticing what is happening on earth. Very simple point, but shows a very nice facet of the Lord, that is very, very concerned. Although he's engaged in pastimes in Goloka, but is very much concerned or very much aware what is happening right now in the material world. And so to speak, particularly on the earth planet. Because here we are talking about earth planet actually. Because earth planet is like an airport, you know that from here you can directly go back to spiritual world. So if knowledge is given properly, from here directly a person can go to the spiritual world. So he's very much concerned particularly about the earth planet. Although we hear also Devatiriyang Naradishu. He is already appearing in various forms in various societies of demigods and animals also, but especially the human beings. In the same way, at the present moment also, there are so many editions of the Gita, especially in English, but almost all of them are not according to authorized disciplic succession. So just like Krishna saw that knowledge of Bhagavad Gita was lost, so he came and spoke personally. Similarly, see now I think you can understand what I'm trying to speak. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada saw that there are no bona fide proper authorized commentary in English. That's why he also wrote his commentary to re-establish the dharma. So you see the purpose of the Lord and purpose of devotee, pure devotee, is not different. Are you able to understand this point? And one more point which was nicely pointed out by forgetting his name. Anyway, very nice devotee. He said, it's not that Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita is the only Bhagavad Gita as it is. Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan's commentary is also as it is. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary is also as it is. They have not changed the meaning. Sridhar Swami's commentary is also as it is. But they are all in Sanskrit. So Prabhupada very nicely says there are nothing, especially in English, there are no as it is commentaries. कुछ ग्रहण कर रहे हैं, and that's why Prabhupada commentaries as it is, as you are seeing how he is very strictly following the commentary of the previous acharyas. Sripad Ramanujacharya's commentary is also as it is. That means what the Lord wanted to speak, that mood only the acharyas have how to say preserved. But there is there was no commentary on Bhagavad Gita as it is in English. And that's what Prabhupada was saying. He's saying, and also in Hindi you can say. Hindi also no. So Prabhupada wanted to bring this knowledge which was in Sanskrit in front of the public, in front of the world, and as it is formed, without any change of the meaning. And you're seeing how Prabhupada strictly follows Gita Bhushan and all the commentaries. So you see, especially in English, Prabhupada says that. So he knows that there are some Sanskara and some addition in Sanskrit, but English nothing is available. There are innumerable interpretations rendered by different mundane scholars. But almost all of them do not accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, although they make a good business on the words of Sri Krishna. Now, very interesting point. If they do not believe that Krishna is God, then why are they interested in Bhagavad Gita? So yes, Because people believe in Bhagavad Gita. People want to know about Bhagavad Gita, and they will not be interested in some philosophers Bhagavad Gita. कुछ ग्रहण करें. They know that Bhagavad Gita is famous and people like to read it. So if they will write a commentary on Bhagavad Gita, a person who is not knowing anything about that disciplic succession would be eager to read it if they add so many degrees are there in front of their name and so on and so forth. कुछ ग्रहण कर रहे हैं, and then the books will be sold and they will get some money. That much only they will get. They will get some money. And you will be surprised how Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita was printed. Macmillan Company, they were thinking to publish Bhagavad Gita in English, but they were not getting proper standard commented version of it. Anyhow, there's a long story. Then Brahmanand who had gone there, they're not allowing, and then suddenly the publisher came, and then he invited him. I said, okay, we'll publish it like that. So I'm just saying that this is the rarity of Bhagavad Gita as it is by Prabhupada. No, nothing comes close. Are you able to understand? Now, before we go forward, try to understand it. Suppose, do you believe Socrates is God? No. We know also and we don't believe. But suppose I have to make money on Socrates. Socrates was a philosopher, on his teachings. Then I'll write something on his teachings. But not necessarily that I have full faith on his teachings. There are two different words, two different paradigms altogether. I may write something on somebody's works, does not mean I have implicit faith on that person. कुछ अंतर समझ रहे हैं? टीका लिख दिए लेकिन उसकी वाणी पे श्रद्धा नहीं है. So that is the problem with these people. They do not have faith that Krishna is God, and that's why sometimes this is not proper. The actual meaning of this is that, and then they will say so many things. Okay? This spirit is demonic because demons do not believe in God but simply enjoy the property of the Supreme. समझ रहे हैं? They want to enjoy the popularity of Bhagavad Gita and make money for their sense gratification, but they don't want to live Bhagavad Gita. One person came to Srila Prabhupada and he said, in 45 minutes, I can speak the whole Bhagavad Gita. Then Prabhupada said, can you leave Bhagavad Gita for 45 minutes? Then he just kept quiet. So, have you heard this, that many people will read Bhagavad Gita for whole of their life and can't understand it? So people have made it so difficult, but I think all of you can very easily appreciate Bhagavad Gita. Krishna tells you to offer your food. Yeah, well, I'll offer my food. Krishna tells us to chant Hare Krishna or chant His glories. We chant Hare Krishna. It's very easy because it has been taught by Srila Prabhupada. Makes it clear ho raha hai na? But because only a devotee can understand, and if a person is not a devotee, the teacher, you can't understand Bhagavad Gita. Okay? Since there is a great need of an edition of the Gita in English as it is received by the Parampara disciplic succession system, an attempt is made herewith to fulfill this great want. Great want means great requirement. Yes. Bhagavad Gita accepted as it is a great boon to humanity. But if it is accepted as a treatise of philosophical speculation, it is simply a waste of time. So you see, yesterday in our Hindi class, we were saying this. We were discussing this point that how Srimad Bhagavatam also will not give us bhakti if it is not understood in disciplic succession. So it was very shocking point, but the fact is the message has been tampered or changed. It is not exact Bhagavatam. If you receive it from a non-devotee, you are not exactly receiving Bhagavatam. If we receive the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita from a non-devotee, we are not accepting Bhagavad Gita actually. We are accepting something changed. And even one word or even one theme is changed, it doesn't give you the exact result. I'll give you an example. If you know about homeopathic medicines, all of them taste same. So if you say they are all same only, say taste is same. So I can take any medicine on the shelf and take it, but it won't work in that way. Now it's very clear. Almost all the allopathic medicines also taste the same, bitter or something, is it not? You can't just take any medicine. So what is written? To be taken under the guidance of a prescribed physician. Okay, now things are clear. So we have to accept Bhagavad Gita as told by Srila Prabhupada, who is the representative of the disciplic, bona fide disciplic succession. And that is very clear. He only repeats the words of the previous acharyas in a way so that people can understand now. So what did we learn here in this shloka? That the class is not ended. This is only one more shloka, but I'm just saying, don't be too happy. That this knowledge has to be understood in parampara, and it was understood in by parampara. In Rajarshis, one important point, the Raja also was so humble that he put himself in a humble position and understood the knowledge. And who are we to comment as per our own whims? Just imagine what is the potency of the present day mundane scholar or anyone in front of the Rajarshis. Nothing, finished, useless, kudha, any other despicable word you can use. Lower than the Shudra, which have been in the how to say, the kingdom of the king of the Rajarshis. So there is no comparison. So why we are repeating this point? Because people have immense faith on these so-called scholars, but they don't have faith in Lord Krishna. So main thing to understand Bhagavad Gita, first theme or first point is I must accept that Krishna is God. So as Prabhupada explained in the last line, if you simply accept as a philosophical speculation, understand, we don't know, but we are speculating, maybe it is like that, maybe it's like that, then Bhagavad Gita has of no value. But if we accept Krishna as God, then we say every word of Bhagavad Gita is perfectly correct. Even if I can't understand in my present situation, but whatever is there is correct. Samajh mein aaya? Then Bhagavad Gita will work. Because if it is understood in that spirit, Krishna becomes pleased in the heart. He will reveal the knowledge more and more. Okay? Okay. So 4.3. Sa evayam maya tedya
एवायं मया तेद्य
yogaha proktaha puratanaha
योगा प्रोक्ता पुरातनः
bhaktosi me sakha cheti
भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति
rahasyam hi tad uttamam.
रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्
Sa eva, not eva, eva, he, that same, I am. Sa eva I am is this, I am speaking. What I am speaking to you now is sa eva, it's the same knowledge which I was given to the Rajarshis, I have given to the sun god. Maya, by me, te, unto you, adya. Adya means now. Now what I am speaking to you, Arjuna, is the same knowledge which I spoke to the sun god. Is that very clear? What is that knowledge? Yogaha proktaha puratana. Puratana means old yoga. But Avya yoga, which is imperishable, which is always relevant, which is ever fresh like the Vedas, the same old knowledge I am giving it to you. Proktaha means which I have spoken. The knowledge which I have spoken earlier in the old time, Yogaha proktaha puratana, I am again speaking to you. Why? I am not a rishi. I am not a brahmachari. I means Arjuna. And I am also not a brahmachari. Very difficult to be a brahmachari. I am just trying to be a brahmachari. So, anyhow, we don't want to talk about ourselves. I'm just saying that, so Yoga Prokta Puratana, why are you speaking? The qualification is Bhaktosi me, you are my devotee. Means you are not envious of me. If I will tell you that I am Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, then you will be happy. You won't become envious of me. You won't think that I am proud when I am speaking that I am the source of everything. Are you able to understand? Have you heard such kind of objection that Krishna is very proud, that he tells he is God? So many people say, Krishna ko kitna ahankar hai. Krishna is so proud. He tells that he is God. Now what he should tell? If you say, are you a boy? I say, yes. Are you very proud? You're saying you're a boy. Are you a girl? You say, no, girl. I say, yes, so proud. If the girl says, I'm a girl, and the boy says, I'm a boy, will you say they are proud? And if a donkey says, I'm a donkey, if the donkey says, I am some superstar, then he may be called Foolish person. So if God says I'm God, then why are you saying proud? Why? Can you guess why they're saying Krishna is proud? Enviousness. Hear this very carefully. If I envy someone, I just cannot tolerate their good qualities being glorified. This is the same point. And if I'm a devotee of someone, I would be eager to hear and discuss those glories of that person. Is it not? People love their kids and they will talk so much about their kids. देखो आज ऐसे बोला, he spoke like this, he walked like this. You get bored, but Hare Krishna, you get bored, but they don't never get bored. Vayam tuna vitrapyamaha, is it not? So what I was saying. So bhakto si me, you are my devotee. Now just imagine if Krishna speaks that to you. You have never, see, that's why when you discuss, so many points come out. If I say, or not me, if Krishna tells you, Vipin, you are my devotee. Oh, this is not an ordinary thing. Do you feel you are a devotee of Krishna? Yes, sometimes I don't feel. I don't feel like really I'm a devotee of something. But if Krishna is acknowledging that you are my devotee right in front of you, that would be different. How much Arjuna would have, अरे आप तो हमारे मित्र हैं, like that. English में, हिंदी में तो और feeling आती है. You are my friend. Krishna, how much enthusiastic you will be. See, one day Krishna will speak to you like this, you know. Oh, you have been such a nice devotee of mine. Even don't worry about it. One day that will come. क्या मजा आएगा ना? How much nice you will feel. But that's what Arjuna is saying. Arjuna is feeling. Bhakto si me, you are my devotee. Krishna's devotee. You are my devotee. How much sense of belongingness is there? It's like you say, you are my son. Is it not their father saying, you are my son, you come back and suffer in my home? Is it not, Vipin? All our parents say like this, you are mine. So in that way Krishna says, Bhakto si me, not only Bhakta, not only ordinary Bhakta, Sakha. So we know that Sakha means very exalted devotee, Sakhiras, to the effect that he was sleeping with Krishna. Can you imagine that? We never meditate upon the fortune. Arjuna was actually sleeping with Krishna. He was eating same, not, I don't know whether same plate, but alongside. Can you imagine eating alongside God? It's quite a great fortune, is it not? Eternally. Is it really exciting now, Bhagavad Gita? Bhakto si me sakha cheti. Both you are like that. Rahasya hi etad uttamam. That's why this uttam, the highest confidential knowledge, etad, this knowledge I'm giving to you. So it's clear? So actually Bhagavad Gita is also very tasty. Yeah. That's why I wanted to speak on Bhagavad Gita, because many devotees, at least who understand English, they will have a very strong backup when they land up in Bhagavatam. Because so many times I'll say, see, I will discuss this in Bhagavad Gita. Did I not discuss in 3rd chapter? Did I not discuss in 2nd? Yes, Prabhuji, yes, Prabhuji. And I know that most devotees will not hear the recording of Bhagavad Gita. इतना मुश्किल होता है कि ऑन ही नहीं होता है बटन. टेलीग्राम खुलता ही नहीं. You cannot open it. So this is the thing. I have to just change the network connection because calls are coming. So this is clear. We'll go forward. That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you, because you are my devotee as well as my friend and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this science. Have you understood? A person who is non-envious of Krishna can only understand the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. That's why we tell people to chant Hare Krishna. Chanting Hare Krishna, what are you praying? Krishna, please engage in my service. I don't think you are understanding English. Everything is yes, 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 yes. No, oh Krishna, please allow me to be engaged in your service. So if I am envious of you or anyone, why will I be praying like that? So Harinam destroys our envy slowly, and then we accept Bhagavad Gita. Somehow that we accept Bhagavad Gita also then. You will see that. It works very nicely. So both have to be there, Bhagavad Gita as well as Holy Name. Gita Bhushan commentary. This ancient yoga which should be spoken in this line of succession has been spoken today by me, who am very attached to you as a friend. You see now, Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan brings up another point that by saying that you are my friend, Lord says that there is a very great attachment or sense of love between the Lord and a devotee who's a friend of Krishna. So that's why he says, I'm very attached to you. Also, if you're attached to somebody, you will give him something nice, is it not? I would say you will reveal your heart to him. Are you able to see that there is Guhyam Akhyati Prichyati in Bhagavad Gita? You understand the word? Guhyam, something which is confidential in the heart, is revealing. Very nice. Ishto Sive Dridamati. Very nice. Unto you, who are very attached to me as a friend. So now it's very clear. Attachment is from both sides. In this material world also, sometimes people are objecting. Are the brahmacharis or not attached to the facilities which has been provided to them? Yes, it is quite possible that a brahmachari may be attached to his laptop or his whatever things are there, but the good thing is that the things are not attached to him. Do you agree? So attachment is only from one side. But you know, when a person is attached to a person, I mean to say wife, which also is getting rarer and rarer in these days, but if assuming he's very attached to the wife, is only he attached to the wife or the wife also attached to him? Yes, that becomes more strong. I don't want to say anything about the Grihastha ashram. I'm just saying the point of when there's attachment between two persons, attachment is both sides. So Krishna is the devotee, Arjuna is attached to Krishna, and Krishna is attached to his devotee. So because of this mutual attachment, Krishna wants to reveal this highest knowledge to Arjuna. Is that clear? That's the whole point. So now similarly, when we chant Hare Krishna, by which Krishna assumes that we are his devotee, because although we don't feel that we are devotees, but Krishna accepts. Mahaprabhu says anybody who has chanted Hare Krishna is a devotee. Quite liberal. Quite liberal. Do you agree? Do you feel everybody who's chanting Hare Krishna is a devotee? Tell me honestly. So first he's saying yes because philosophically, but honestly you do not believe anybody who's chanting Hare Krishna. अरे वो तो बहुत movie भी तो देख रहा है. He's watching movie also, but he chants Hare Krishna. He may not be very high devotee, but he is still a devotee. Mahaprabhu says. We are seeing from our perception, which is also not wrong, not right. He's not fully a devotee, so we don't associate with him, but we hear he's a devotee. What I'm trying to say, he considers you as a devotee, and that's why he reveals the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita more and more as we chant Hare Krishna. You must be feeling that, understanding. Because you are my devotee, surrender to me. When did Arjuna surrender? Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapanyam. I'm your humble student. You please engage me. Explain to me what is best for me. Shadhi, you instruct me. And a friend, I have spoken it to you and no one else. Now it's quite interesting that till the time Arjuna was behaving like a friend also, Krishna was not speaking. You remember in the first chapter, only when he says Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapanam, Krishna begins to speak. Krishna wanted to help his friend, but when he was given the position of spiritual master, which he was always having, then he began to speak also in the way of a spiritual master. A subtle point to be understood. Yeah, a very nice point Mataji mentioned, that when the student is ready, master appears. It means that when the living entity is ready for the knowledge to be received, Krishna will make that knowledge appear to him. This is a very important point. You will see in your life something you wanted to understand, you just could not understand. But when somehow the consciousness was ready to understand it, you will hear it or you will get it from Prabhupada books, you'll understand this point. You will see in your own life. Just like I give an example that Maharaj used to speak on very high things about some Radha Krishna things or something. I just, not very all the time, but sometimes I could not appreciate it. I still can't appreciate it, but at least I can hear it now. So you see, my jnani nature or whatever intellectual nature always tries to feel happy in tattva and analytical study, more towards that. But rasa is Talks about rasa is still अभी दूसरा zone है वो दूर है. So you know, see, like when he talks about Uddhav Sandesh and all that, it just little bit used to go. Earlier I'm talking about years together before. It was difficult. Now it is appreciable, at least appreciable. It goes a little bit further. Because you are okay, we have discussed that since it is the most secret, rahasyam uttamam, and therefore should be concealed from others. So one devotee was mentioned, asked me that by knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, everybody will be liberated. So why it is not being given to everybody? I said, see, in a sense, it is open for everyone, but in another sense, everybody is not open to it. Is it easy? Because if you give it to envious fellow, he will make more offenses to Krishna. Is it not? So a person who, I want to clarify at this point that a person who does not know is not necessarily envious of Krishna. I'm seeing it many times. It is being misunderstood that we should not preach to those who don't have knowledge. This is not proper Siddhanta. We preach to those who don't have knowledge, but preach to those who are ready to accept the knowledge. A person who is envious also does not have knowledge, but is envious, so he won't accept the knowledge. I think it's very clear. Go forward. So from there, from those who don't want to understand it, we just don't speak about it. Purport. Before we go forward, you'll understand it. Why our Smriti Mataji has not given us any instruction on the law books of India? Why you have not spoken anything since 4 days? What is the answer? Because no one is interested. Simple, is it not? And you want to become a teacher in law, is it not? Hopefully not in home science. So when you become a teacher in law, there will be some students who want to learn law. कुछ ग्रहण कर रहे हैं कि नहीं? Simple material field में भी you don't teach the students or don't teach to people who don't want to learn. इसमें कौन तो लॉजिकल बात है ना? You were doing mathematics, what MSc is in, so 1,000 people were there in your class. How many people were there? Maximum 120. How many actually passed in it? 40%. So you can see now simple math. So now is not that the teacher will not teach the 120 students and he will go out and teach the rickshawalas and everybody, please come and learn MSc mathematics. Doesn't work like that. So the same way, there are people who are demoniac, we don't have to preach to them. But still in Kali Yuga, there are so many people who are divine, they can be preached. But there are 2 classes of men, namely the devotee and the demon. What is the third class? No class. Only 2 people, devotee and demon. Dau bhuta sargo lokasmin, deva asura evacha. Vishnu bhakta smritah deva, asuras tadvipariya. There are only 2 classes of people. One is Devata, another is a demon. A Devata is a worshipper of Vishnu and others are Viparyaha, against Vishnu. They know Vishnu is God. Again, we come back to the law. All those criminals who did crime, they were not knowing that it is crime. Were they not knowing that the government will punish? But still they will do. And some people are so audacious, they say, police kya karegi mera? I think some criminals are like that also. What is, I don't want to remember him, but that some, I'm forgetting his name, is from South India. There was a person who was you know him, he was associate or what? Veerappan. So you see, he was so audacious. What the government will do, I'll blow up the government officials also. So this is how the Asuras' attitude. They know who's God, but they will go against God. The Lord selected Arjuna as the recipient of this great science owing to his being a devotee of the Lord. But for the demon, it is not possible to understand this great mysterious science. And you know, that's why they say whole life will go and you can't understand Bhagavad Gita. Because whole life you have never become or you have not even tried to become a devotee. अब जबरदस्ती असुर बनने का प्रयास करेंगे तो कैसे समझेंगे बताइए? ठीक है? There are a number of editions of this great book of knowledge. Some of them have commentaries by the devotees, such like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan, and some of them have commentaries by the demons. If the demons don't like Krishna, why are they commenting on Bhagavad Gita? To earn money, simple. To earn money or to earn fame. Even they may be Vairagis, you know that? They may be Vairagis, they may not be interested in money, but they want to be famous as a commentator of Bhagavad Gita. And the result is, they, by reading their commentary, nobody becomes a devotee. Finish. Quite interesting. The only qualification of Bhagavad Gita is, as per the shloka, is to be a devotee. And if a commentator is not a devotee, what he will understand even a word of Bhagavad Gita? He won't understand anything. So he's commenting on something which he does not understand. Can you comment? Again, we have a lawyer here, because on that field nobody knows. We have two departments. I'll ask two questions. So our dear Ayush Prabhu, you're an intelligent boy. What is your opinion about Dafa 301? So you say Dafa 302 means hanging by death, or something like that. Or maybe 301 is similar to that. We can just speculating. Now you see how if you don't know about Dafa 301, that means how do you say penal code 301? Indian Penal Code, section 301. I'm giving it knowledge in parampara. I'm hearing from Mataji and speaking. So, is it not all of us can nicely speculate about it? Is it not? 301 means this and that. And Mataji, what do you know about pythons? So she will say snakes. And what do you say? What is python? It's a language. You see. So now you have lot of scope of speculating. If you have to say, so ab samajh gaye aap, just like a lawyer cannot say anything about Python, which is a computer language, our dear computer engineer cannot speak anything about IPC code or whatever, and this fool can also not speak about any of those things. Similarly, just imagine what people will speculate and speak on Bhagavad Gita when they have not been trained in Bhagavad Gita. You can speak about IPC, I have to say IPC, Indian Penal Code sections, whatever it is, because you have been trained. You can talk about Python, you have been trained. I can somehow a little bit speak about Bhagavad Gita, I have got some training, or at least I assume that I have been trained. So, but a person who has not received any training, what he will speak on Bhagavad Gita? And one more elaborate point. Do you know English? Yes. Do you know English? Yes. IPC is in English? Yes. And Python is in English. So, just by knowing English, you can comment. Similarly, just by knowing Sanskrit, you can't comment on Bhagavad Gita. I think now it must be very clear. Without being a lawyer, you can't speak about law. Without being a software engineer trained in it, you can't speak about the software language, whatever. Similarly, without being a devotee, trained devotee, you can't speak on Bhagavad Gita. ठीक है? अब तो समझ में आ गया, बढ़ते हैं आगे. Come, you have to go, I think. Okay. Commentation by the devotees is real, whereas that of the demons is useless. I'll tell you a really funny one, which is going to come in the coming shlokas. What is that? Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishtaho. This is Bhagavad Gita's very simple understanding. Sarvasya cha aham. In everywhere I am sannivishto. I am situated in everyone's heart. So, matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. From me comes remembrance, knowledge and forgetfulness. Very easy to understand. Now one fellow, he was a Pandit, so-called Pandit, and he was employed by the king of Assam. And you know what grows nicely in Assam? Chai. So he, in order to glorify the king who liked to drink tea, he said, Sarvasya chayam hridisannivishto. Everybody has a desire to drink tea in his heart. And that how to drink that tea, the knowledge is coming from Krishna. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam. And you will be surprised, the king also accepted that, because that was his attachment. So, but this kind of, so you can imagine what kind of out of the world commentaries can come out on Bhagavad Gita. This was told by Gauranga Prabhu in his lecture, so I am only speaking in parampara. The story also is in parampara. I don't know from where did he get this, but it was really funny. So commentation by the devotees is real. Why real? Because they will speak the version of Krishna. Please hear this very carefully. When you understand the meaning of the word as per Sridhar Swami, as per Baldev Vidyabhushan, as per all the acharyas, they are liberated souls. Their knowledge is not covered by the modes of material nature. So they know what meaning the Lord intends to speak when he uses those particular words in that shloka. कुछ ग्रहण कर रहे हैं इस बात को? Are you seeing in Bhagavatam lectures the words will have a very particular meaning, and Sanskrit dictionary can give many meanings. But one particular meaning will be given by the Acharya, just like it was the word was amurtikam, mantra murti, amurtikam. So murti means a very hard substance, and it may also mean some other maya and all that. I don't know what are the other meanings, but one meaning was hard. So amurtikam means very soft. So Krishna's form is very soft, soft due to his mercy. So all those meanings has to be accepted as per the guidance of the acharyas, and their meanings are real because their hearts are connected with the real person Krishna. But these useless demons, their hearts are away from Krishna. They can never understand what the Lord wants to speak. Clear हो रहा है? ठीक. Arjuna accepts Sri Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead, and any commentary on the Gita following in the footsteps of Arjuna is a real devotional service to the cause of this great science. Elsewhere in Bhagavatam, if I remember correctly, the 4 Kumaras were addressed by Prithu Maharaj that you are explaining the science of absolute truth, and this is unlimited service to the unlimited. Krishna is unlimited, and this is unlimited service or infinite service to Krishna, because if the devotees don't speak, will the people know about Krishna as it is ever? So this is very, very deep and profound. If we don't speak about Bhagavad Gita as it is, then people will not learn about Krishna as it is. And if they don't learn about Krishna as it is, they will not go back to Godhead ever. And if they somehow they hear Bhagavad Gita as it is, immediately their path of liberation is open. कुछ ग्रहण कर रहे हैं? Just like in this room, if I lock the door, no matter how much, how to say, naughty you people are, you're not naughty, your age of naughtiness has passed. But just suppose if all of you were only 3 years old, and somehow I was trying to teach you Bhagavad Gita, which seems to be not difficult because not many are more than 3 years old in Krishna consciousness, is it not? Just few are maybe 4 or 5 years, but not more than that. Is not 7 साल से तो बड़े तो नहीं, आप 8 साल के 10 साल का लड़का बच्चा है हमारा एक सबसे बड़ा, बाकी तो mostly are 5-6 years old, or one devotee is there a little bit longer. But still, you will remain in this world, in this room only. But only when the door is open, then you can run out. I think that makes very clear. So as soon, it is very profound, as soon, even if I am in complete mood of ignorance, as soon I meet a devotee who is speaking on Bhagavad Gita as it is, my liberation or path to liberation is immediately open, even if I am not aware of it. And you may not believe me, but I'll just tell you, don't you feel so much changes happen in your life? And when you were coming in contact with devotees, were you aware that what they're speaking? Are you aware of what I'm speaking now? Hopefully. कुछ समझ रहे, अपने जीवन में देखो भाई, तब समझ में आएगा. We were not coming to the devotees to learn the path of pure devotional service, which will lead me to unalloyed service to Krishna. Nobody was seeking that. Completely unaware. कुछ समझ रहे हैं? ऐसे देख रहे हैं भोंदू की तरह से, कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा. अरे भाई, अपने जीवन में नहीं देख रहे हैं आयुषी माता जी. अब Ayush Prabhu, when you gave Hare Krishna mantra to your sister in disciplic succession, were you aware in what trap you were getting entrapped, Mother Ayushi? See how innocent she is. You all कितना बड़ा मुश्किल में डाल दिया इनको. Now she knows about the goal of life. She has to execute that. Is it not? And same thing if you're telling to other of your friends, is it not happening the same with them? Such innocent people. But that is a real devotional service to the cause of this great science. You speak the knowledge as it is. Never ever think how many people are sitting in the class. Billions of people may be sitting, and if because the way I speak, but if it is not pleasing to Krishna, I won't be pleased, Krishna won't be pleased, Prabhupada and devotees won't be pleased. Never ever play around with this knowledge. You give it as it is, and there are always some sincere souls who want to accept this knowledge. A very, very important point. I'm just explaining this point. Real, Sachi Bhakti, real devotional service to Krishna. Very nicely Prabhupada explains. The demoniac, however, do not accept Lord Krishna as he is. Instead, they concoct something about Krishna and mislead general readers from the path of Krishna's instruction. You must remember, people do not have the capacity to analyze. Most people can't analyze Bhagavad Gita. Just again, let us come back to the same law example and computer science example. Can general people know anything about law? What is your experience, Mataji? Do they have any knowledge? No. So they will only understand what the lawyer will speak. And it's not that if you say, "Jao jaake kitab pad lo," if you tell them, "Why don't you read? If you don't believe me, right? Read this." They won't read also. And if they read, they can't understand also. Same thing with your whatever software knowledge. Same thing with MSc mathematics or whatever. So I'm saying, in general, people are unaware of spiritual knowledge. So it is the duty of the brahmanas or the devotees to speak the knowledge as it is, so that people can understand. Does that make sense? ये आप देखेंगे preaching बिल्कुल बुद्धू होते हैं. People are mostly foolish. They don't understand what is there in Bhagavad Gita. So it has to be spoken as it is, so that they get the message clearly and execute it. समझ में आ गया? Don't change it. Then they won't be liberated, and neither we. Clear? Here is a warning. That's why I was so heavy on this point. About such misleading paths, one should try to follow the disciplic succession from Arjuna and thus be benefited by this great science of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. One must not hear the commentaries of all these people. One person on Telegram was sending me a message, "Should I read this? Should I read this?" I said, "Don't you understand simple Hindi? Prabhupada ji ki Bhagavad Gita padho." Okay, Prabhuji. I don't know whether he understood or not, but this is the point. You just read Bhagavad Gita Yatharup and understand. So now, after hearing this, what did Arjuna say? We'll meet tomorrow and then understand. If there are any questions or comments, we'll take up. I don't see any questions. I think nobody understood anything. So then, you have a question. Finally, one question. But you have to speak in the mic. You won't hear yourself, but everybody will hear. Somehow the mixer is giving trouble here. Yes, it's on? Yeah. Okay.
Prabhuji, I just wanted to know about Gita Bhushan ji, as in the...
What is Gita Bhushan?
Yes, I mean, some glories about him, because since we read his commentaries
Yeah.
on everyday basis, and I'm not much aware.
Okay. See, Baldev Vidyabhushan is one of the Gaudiya Vaishnavacharyas. He is a Siksha disciple of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, whose commentary we are hearing in Bhagavatam. And he also wrote a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. So Baldev Vidyabhushan has written a commentary on Bhagavad Gita, and it's a very beautiful commentary, as you're seeing. And Srila Prabhupada has, as you can see, also 80 to 90% derived his commentary from Baldev Vidyabhushan's commentary only. So why we are reading? Because when we read Baldev Vidyabhushan commentaries, first of all, we get the links of the shlokas, which makes it interesting. And also he explains certain things in detail. So then we know why Prabhupada is saying what he's saying. So in that way we understand. Also, Prabhupada will elaborate so many more things, seeing the present context. Because at the time of Baldev Vidyabhushan, there were no English commentaries, so to speak, on Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada will speak about that also. That's why we are reading. And if you see Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada dedicates this Bhagavad Gita to Baldev Vidyabhushan. So they never wondered why Prabhupada did that. Srila Prabhupada, Baldev Vidyabhushan also, quite interesting, he wrote a whole commentary on Vedanta Sutra in 7 days. And it was told that Lord Govinda dictated the commentary to him. You want to hear the story? You have time? Or? At that time in Jaipur, Jaipur, the deity is Radha Govindji. So Radha Govindji was worshipped by Rupa Goswami ji. So it was taken to Jaipur out of fear of the Muslims. And they were saying that the Gaudiya Vaishnavas were worshipping them. They don't have any commentary on Vedanta by their acharyas. So their sampradaya is not bona fide. They had a conception, I think from Ramanandi Sampradaya, Ramarajachar Sampradaya, they had an objection that they are not bona fide because they don't have, none of their acharyas have commented on Vedanta Sutra. Now, up till that point, the general understanding of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas was that since Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra, there is no need for separate commentary. but they were not accepting it. So at that time, this summon, or you can say message, came to Srila Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur, who at that time was the leader of all Gaudiya Vaishnavas. But he was very old to go to Jaipur and defend, how to say, defend the point. So then he sent Baldev Vidyabhushan Path there. So anyhow, so he defended and everything, but he said, no, you have to present a commentary. So then he prayed to Radha Govindji. So Govindji came in his dream or whatever, realization, on whichever way, they dictated the commentary to Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan, and he wrote. And it's one of the most brilliant commentaries. And when the people read it, they were astounded by his commentary. So Srila Prabhupada says that, and Vedanta Sutra is really tough, but you will be surprised. Vedanta Sutra also have the 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita only. You know that? Ishvara, Prakriti, Kal, Jiva, and Karma. The 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita are the 5 topics of Vedanta. So, or a reverse way, the 5 topics of Vedanta are the 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita. So you can say the Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all Vedanta and everything. Very, very interesting. So the way he analyzes Vedanta Sutra, I just little bit read his commentary, not detail, is the same concept which he used in Bhagavad Gita, Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan, about Nirapeksha, about what was that, Sanishtha, Parinishth, and Nirapeksha devotees. All those concepts he says there. And Prabhupada follows his commentary, so we read it. It is very tasty. So that's what we do. Okay. Any other questions? Sararth Darshini means?
We are reading the commentaries in Bhagavatam.
Yeah, you can see in Bhagavatam, Prabhupada follows Sararth Darshini, mostly. But he also derives from other commentaries. Sometimes he derives from Jiva Goswami, like that. Like sometimes we see he derives from Bal Prabodhini, is it not? Little bit, so like that. Okay, so we shall stop here. Thank you all for coming. In Zoom, somebody has a question. Ramanandi Samprada, no question. Okay, so I hope I have a question. Is this 10 to 11 fine with devotees, or all of you have to work, or what? I don't know. Anyhow, if you have to work, then what you can do, you may like to hear the recording, then you can read the recording in 8 to 9 a.m. or what you can do. I am bound